Hello and welcome to what is quickly becoming Kelly's Book Nook, where I talk about everything except what I'm supposed to talk about, which is productivity. Okay, not really. This is a follow-on to my Kindle review video that I released a couple of weeks where today I am talking about the Amazon cases for the new Kindle, as well as just providing some thoughts on the Paperwhite after having used it for the past several weeks. So on this channel, I usually like to try and talk about productivity, at least tangentially. Unfortunately, last week I kind of burnt myself out on that awesome reading video that I released. Check it out up here. So this week, I decided to take it a bit easy and review these cases, which I wasn't planning on doing, but I figured, hey, I've already have a Kindle video out there, why not talk about the cases as well? But before we get to that, let's provide a quick update on the Paperwhite itself and how my reading experience has been over the past several weeks. One word: fantastic. It couldn't have been better. This is still my favorite Kindle, hands down. After serious contemplation and reflection, I have found one fault with it, and that is the back is a fingerprint magnet, but you want to know what? Who cares? It feels great in the hands, and so I'm going to continue holding it even though every time I look at it, I realize I have disgustingly greasy fingers. But that's it. That's the only negative I have to say with this Kindle. It is still fantastic, and I love using it every single day. So let's jump over to the cases. Well, I decided to order two cases because Amazon had these new cork covers, of which I got the dark one, as well as the Merlot leather cover. Usually I've been getting the leather covers, but I figured, hey, this cork is kind of cool. Let's give that a try. So I got one of each. Unfortunately, I'll ruin the rest of the video here, they're both getting returned. Let's talk about the cork first. So the cork, my initial impressions upon opening up were, wow, this is awesome. It has such a cool texture to it. It is nice and soft. It has a little bit of give to it that just makes it nice to hold and feel in the hand until you actually put a Kindle in it and start reading with it. At which point you realize that the back edge is incredibly rough and almost serrated. Right here where the cork meets the plastic housing of the Kindle, it's not a nice seam. It's a little too rough and it really eats into your hand and makes it uncomfortable to hold. I don't think it's a fault with this particular case itself. I think it's an issue with the design as a whole. Just where that cork meets the casing, it doesn't line up nicely, leaving you with this rough plastic that scratches against your finger every time you hold the Kindle. So as I said, this case is going back to Amazon. It is definitely not worth the, what did I pay for it? It's definitely not worth the $50 I paid. No, not worth $50. But that's okay, because I had the leather cases and I know that I love the feel of a good leather book or a nice leather case such as I use on my iPhone, so I figured, hey, this is gonna be great. This nice Merlot color, this deep red, it's gonna be great. So I put the cork cover aside and I pull over the leather case to unbox that. I mean, come on, we've all been there before. There's only one thing you do when you unbox new leather goods. You hold it up to your nose and take a big sniff. And so I did that. Unfortunately, it doesn't smell like leather. It smells like chemicals and gives off this toxic smell that is nauseating at best. If that wasn't enough, the leather cover doesn't feel like leather. It feels like plastic, or at the very least a cheap bonded leather, and it's not a joy to use. And so, you know, for 20 bucks, it's probably worth it, except it doesn't cost 20 bucks. It costs 40 bucks. So it's going back. Now, if neither the issues of the roughness on the back of the cork cover or the nauseating smell and texture of the leather cover put you off, there is one other design flaw I want to point out to you. And that comes into play when you're actually using the Kindle day to day. When it's closed, it's great, it's nice, comfortable to hold. You open it up, display turns on, you flip over the front of the cover, and you have this giant bulge on one side that makes it uncomfortable to hold, which is disappointing because the Paperwhite was the most comfortable Kindle for me to hold, you know, caseless, and so why ruin that? And then also when you're done reading and you want to close the cover, pulling the cover off the back is not easy. It kind of attaches magnetically right at the corner radius, which makes it hard to pull off until you finally get it, and it's not a joy to use. And so what I guess I'm trying to say is that the 2021 Kindle Paperwhite is an exceptionally good e-reader. It is the best e-reader that Kindle has ever released. And the covers are probably the worst covers Amazon has ever released. Besides that one that they took back with the Oasis because of issues. but we won't talk about that. Okay, so I guess Amazon doesn't make good accessories, is what it comes down to. So what am I doing? Well, I went on Etsy, I got a little slipcase that the Kindle is going to go into. Hopefully that will arrive in a couple of weeks to protect it while it's inside my bag when I'm traveling day to day. Now, if you like this video, I am glad because it was kind of a break video, taking a step back from the harder video that was last week, which was how to be a better reader or how not to waste time reading books and to take notes more efficiently. I would love it if you check that out. It is the first in a series that I'm going to be releasing over the next couple months, and how you can organize all your notes together in one place to make you more efficient going forward. I'd love it if you check that one out over here. If you haven't seen my original Kindle review video, check it out over here. Otherwise, till next time, bye. So what you do? Well, I mean, it kind of, unfortunately, so what am I doing? Well, I went on Etsy, and so I guess what I'm trying to say is that the new Kindle Paperwhite is an exceptionally good e-reader.